Wee, what's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie all day. I'm pretty excited right now. Excited. I'm pumped because I have something for you to see. So now this is the Norseman, designed by, well, me, made by the Khukuri House in Nepal. I am totally stoked about this blade, and there's a reason I'm stoked about this blade. Because this is a Seax, and I'm not a big fan of Seax knives. I'm not. But this one I really, really like. So I've been working on this design kind of off and on for like 2 years. I worked on this one. It was a Seax. And most Seax knives are just linear. 1 line, 2 line, 3 line. That's not a design. That's just 3 freaking lines. And it comes from the broken sword design, where a straight sword was broken, and they continued to use it, and then found out that, okay, now that it's shorter, I can use it for other things like processing meat, or using it in the kitchen, or using it to be a stabby, like a secondary blade. And that's what made the Seax. And it became established, and it was very easy to make because there was no complex lines. It was just 3 straight lines. Any blacksmith back then could do it, right? It's just came down to a heat treat and sharp edge. So I've never been a fan because I always thought the shape of the Seax was unfulfilling. It did nothing for me. So when people asked me to do one, I was kind of like, I don't know. I mean, if I'm going to do a Seax, I need to do it better. I need to do it prettier. I can't have an ugly knife. I don't want an ugly knife. And I don't want something that takes the design abilities of a 6-year-old. You know what I mean? I don't want to be able to take a straight ruler and go, like, does nothing for me. So, after a whole lot of how am I going to do it, I came up with this guy in the Khukuri House. Abso-freaking-lutely nailed it. So you'll see the buffalo hide scabbard. It's got wood on the inside, buffalo hide, typical awesome Nepalese style, like Khukuri style sheath. Very, very well done. Riveted, sewn together in the back. Just an absolute beautiful piece, with a nice little tie down here. Just a great piece. And don't let Scabbard fool you. This is not goat skin. He'll tell you it's goat skin because that's what I told him originally. But it's not, because I had a brain fart. It's actually buffalo hide, and we screw that up all the time. But it's water buffalo, and it is amazing. Amazing sheath. Even smells great. So if you are familiar with the dbad Camp Master and you like the way that feels, you are going to love the way this sits in the hand, because when I did the grip, all I could think is it needs a good grip. It needs a perfect grip. And so I copied the grip from my own Camp Master and brought it into this design because I thought, fluidity-wise, it would absolutely work. It's got a double radius. It's got just everything you want. It's got the ability to to keep your hand from going up. It's got the ability to keep your hand from going down. It's rosewood. I have sweat channels. It's pinned. It's beautiful. So you're going to notice the old dbad right there. You're going to notice the Khukuri House right there. Man, I'll tell you what. So let's go over what makes this blade. That's an awesome Seax. This is one I could be proud of. So why is it so great? So we're looking at 52-100 steel, because I wanted, if you're going to have a big blade, you want to have the ability to hit and reduce vibration. You want flex without bend, and that's what 52-100 is going to give you. It's just great. It's about 7-8 millimeters, more like 8 millimeters. The tang, I'm losing my mind. The tang obviously gets thinner as it goes through, and that's also going to help with that same vibration. But what it also does is carries the weight where it needs to be weighted. This thing is absolutely perfect when it comes to weight. When it comes to point of balance, it doesn't get any better. You won't find a better weighted Seax than this guy right here. This is amazing. So I wanted 2 radiuses, but I wanted the radiuses to be equal, just opposite. So I had to come up with a way to fit a radius here, a radius here, a radius here, and a radius here. And generally, when you have a radius here, that means the radius is going to be up here, and then the other radius would be into a clip point. I went opposite, so what I had to do is I made this sweet little ridge right here so I can carry a double radius backwards. So it's actually a mirrored radius. We have a full working finger choil, so that's going to give you the ability to carve and do things like that. And then you have your straight, beautiful Seax edge. On a Seax, that's the only part I think that should be straight. The rest of it, give it a little bit of shape. And then what you'll notice on a lot of Khukuris is they do this line right here. What they do is they take like a chisel, and when the steel is hot, and they bang the chisel all the way through, and they make these beautiful decorative grooves there. So what I wanted to do is I wanted this groove, instead of being straight or round or just coming to a point, I wanted this to follow the shape of the blade, which it does. And it's, I mean, they nailed it again. And what it is I always want that groove to be a reminder of your point goes toward the enemy. It's always moving forward in battle. And that's where that comes from with this knife. In this knife, you do have a really nice guard. Again, it's just, I mean, it's just really, really nice in the hand. The blade itself is 12 inches long. It's a full 12 inches of beauty. You have a 5.5 inch long grip, which gives you a lot of space on the interior of the grip, right? So it's a lot of space to fill your hand with. It's just really, really nice. But what it needs to do is it needs to hit stuff. So I say we just go and hit stuff. It's not like our regular carving knife and things like that. This is a swing and hit, but it can also be used for like cutting up your steak and all that jazz, because it is essentially, it's a Viking's camp knife. That's really what it is. It's your camp plus battle blade, and it is made for it. Let's see here. Oh, that thing's gonna keep moving. That's gonna keep moving. Let me grab it and I'll just hold on to it. Oh yeah, that's a nice hard piece. Nice hard piece right here. Let's see what we can't do. So your Seax would have been used to build your shelter. It would have been used to fight. It would have been used to hunt. It would have been used to cook with. Everything that you would need a piece of steel to do, the Seax was well-rounded enough to do all of it. So if I needed to build a quick boat, I'm going to use my Seax. If I need to build a shelter, I'm going to use my Seax. If I'm going to need to process my food, I'm going to use my Seax. If I need to process a person, I'm going to use my Seax. It's just everything was supposed to be done with this one tool, and it's just done right. That's a hammer, man. That is a hammer of a blade. Just sweet. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, because I don't really have a baton except for this giant piece of log here. Let's see if we can do it. It's so weird batoning with something so long, but you can see it is absolutely no problem gonna get that kind of job done. This is hard. Make it a little bit more manageable. Look at that, splitting all the way through. Just beautiful. Just freaking beautiful. Oh man, I have to say, I really like the design. Obviously, I designed it, so I'm gonna like it. But what I mean by it is because I was never a fan of the Seax design, I really went kind of like above and beyond to myself to make something design-wise, because I didn't make it. Obviously, the masters over there at the Khukuri House did. I wanted this design. It had to be perfect. It had to be. It took so long to design it right. That little ramp is nice in the thumb here. If I went beyond and used the choil, it's really nice there. It's going to fit both ways, because where the choil is directly under that point. So if I'm here, it's above. If I'm here, it's below. It's just perfect. This thing, man, these guys just know how to do it, man. I mean, look at these. Look at these. They're gonna fall off because I'm just shaving down, but they're all gonna end up right there below me, and they're gonna be perfect. Perfect use them curls. Now I'm gonna go with a side grip here and see if we can't get something tight. Look at that. Oh my gosh, those little curls. I don't know if you could even see that, but there's little tiny beautiful curls with a 12-inch blade. Look at this. Look at this control. Look at this control. This blade is so nice. Yeah, so it took me a long time. And the reason I love this design so much is because I put a lot of care into it. You know what I mean? It's easy if I was going to draw up some kind of clip point buoy that's just a standard buoy. It's easy. It's easy. But to take something, to me, that is ugly and make it beautiful, that's man, that's where I wanted to shine on this knife. I wanted to take something that historically is just and make it absolutely stunning. And that right there is really, really good looking. The handle style, when I came up with it for the Campmaster, I said, oh my gosh, I really love this grip. As a matter of fact, Lim Suba, who is the man over at the Khukuri House, when he first did the Campmaster, he wrote me and he said, this is my favorite grip. And I was excited because I drew it, but I didn't feel it. You know what I mean? He got to feel it long before I did because he had to finish it and then send me it. But he absolutely loved the grip, so I was so excited to get it. And I'm like, all right, well, then this grip, if he says it's that good, it's gonna be that good. And on the Campmaster, it's a lot of people who buy the Campmaster always say, you know, oh, I love the grip, I love the grip, I love the grip. The grip is just really nice. It's just really nice. So I knew when I was doing this, just for, I mean, looks alone, it's a really, really good looking grip. I mean, really good looking grip. But to be able to have a piece this big that needs to be swung and needs to be held onto and needs to be kind of manhandled, that grip was extremely important to be on this knife. So it was a no-brainer for me to reuse a grip I already came up with. And man, I have to say that the double radius on it, it's just everything about it is right. This blade, if you are looking for an ultimate camp blade, the same way that the Vikings would have done, with that long, straight, beautiful edge, except without a long, straight, ugly spine. I'm telling you, man, if you are a fan of the Vikings, and I got to do my ancestry thing, and I got to find out that I am a descendant of Vikings, like battle-born Vikings, and I thought that was kind of cool. Like true invaders is in my bloodline. And I was excited because I'd already been working on this design. So as soon as I found out that I am a descendant of Vikings, then it kind of made me want to finish this design even more and put more love into it and more care into it, because then the Viking aspect just got more serious, you know what I mean? But golly, this thing is so nice. If you need that one camp knife that's gonna just do it all, man, this thing is crazy cool. I mean, this thing is crazy cool. I am absolutely digging it. I'm gonna tell you right away, my favorite kukri on the planet, my favorite kukri is my 12,000. And it's not my favorite because I designed it. It's my favorite because my design came out great. It just really did. The Khukuri House took that design and just amazing. My favorite buoy all time is my Big Jim, the dbad Big Jim, again made by the Khukuri House. They nailed it. It's my favorite design of all time, but just modernized and made better. And it's my favorite of all time. And I'm telling you right now, from this day on, this right here, I can tell you without hesitation, This is my favorite Seax ever. This thing, I have gotten to try and hold and play with and use different Seaxes over the years, but most of them have been just linear. I've had a couple where it was round all the way through, but single radius. You know what I mean? No, it wasn't this. This thing, and the handles are generally plainer. This thing, man, this is, and again, it's not just because I designed it. I designed it because I wanted something better. That's why I designed it to be this. It's not like I just designed something everybody else designed the same way and I like mine better. No. I purposely made it different to be different. And the reason I wanted different is because I wanted something that was just more impressive to me. And this guy right here, man, this thing is so nice. Man, it moves like a sword, but with the positionability and status of a knife. I mean, positionability. I think I made that up. I'll tell you, I love it. I absolutely love it. One thing I have to get used to is it's a straight blade. So when I push the knife into the sheath, sometimes I hit up here. I forget that I have to work the edge straight. But obviously, you just seen how easy it went in. Man, look at that. That is a good looking package right there. I have to say, the stain that they used, the color, because I when I drew it up, I drew it as brown, and this has almost more of a like a reddish brown in it. So I really, what the Khukuri House did, I really appreciate that color. I think it's gorgeous. And right now it's hard to see; it's a little dark because I had oil on it and it's seeped in. But golly, man, I love the tapered tang. Just, it gives it that great look because it's tapered in the front, tapered in the rear. Telling you, man, if you guys are looking for the ultimate Seax, this thing is a beast. It is a beast, baby. All right, so I'm in love. Khukuri House did it again. Next from the Khukuri House, my Wakizashi, true full tang, modern Waki. Oh, I'm so excited about that. And I know they just did a Ninjato for somebody, and they put it up on Instagram. I saw it, and I'm like, that Ninjato is beautiful. And if that Ninjato is as close to that Waki is going to come out, man, I'm so excited. Wait till you see the handle shape of my Waki. It's crazy, very unique. So that's it for this one. I am Donnie B all day. Until next knife.